So your 90 days are up in Argentina and you're wondering how to extend your visa. Honestly, it looks complicated, but once you understand the process, it's actually pretty simple. I just went through it myself, and in this video, I'll walk you through exactly how it works. So where I went to get it officially done is the Dirección Nacional de Migraciones. Now, I had to go here within 10 days of my visa expiring. If I had gone here before that, I would have been turned away. And obviously, if you're there after that, you're going to get the fine for overstaying. So you only really get a 10-day period between your visa expiring and it expiring where you are able to go do this. So when you first get to the building, you'll have to go through like this gated area. The place is all fenced off and there's like military or police outside in like a guardhouse that you got to talk to. I just let them know where I was going and what I needed to do, and they actually helped me find the correct door that I need to go into. I honestly forget what door that was exactly. There's like 3 or 4, but they were super friendly to deal with. As soon as you go in the door to the building, there's a guy that usually greets you. I went 3 times for different visa issues, and the first 2 times he helped me. The last time he didn't, he wasn't there, but when he did help me, is very helpful. If he's not there, you got to go in, and about halfway up on the right hand side there's a booth. You talk to the person that's looking after it and tell him what you need. He'll give you a number and point you in the right direction. It's pretty much directly across from him where you need to go to get the visa extension. On the wall behind the people says Prorrogas Turísticas. Sit in the chairs across from that booth and then just wait for your number to be called. Honestly, for me, it took about 2 hours for my number to be called, so it does take some time. If I were to do it all over again, I would go first thing in the morning as soon as they open, as I probably wouldn't have had to wait. But since I showed up around noontime, it took them quite a while to get everyone in front of me processed. I gave them a brief explanation of why I wanted to stay longer. They asked me what I did for a living, and I told them my job, and they did a few things on their system, printed off this sheet, and then I had to go to another booth which was labeled something Banco, and it's pretty much to the right of the booth and then straight through the door and on the right hand side against the far wall. I paid the fee, which was like $20-$30, and then went back to the same booth, sat down and gave them the receipt. They processed, took about 5 more minutes, and then sent me on my way.
Yeah, ain't no L's, I gotta get it, no call and quits. Yeah, gotta keep on moving no matter how hard it gets. Yeah, better move out the way, cause I'm coming with harder hits. My head is as hard as a brick, but I'm harder than all of this. You better move, you might get knocked out. Knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out. Knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out. Knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out. Knocked out. My heart on my sleeve, stress, shield my greed. That's how I get it, success ain't no giving. Some days I don't eat, I don't sleep. When I'm focused, I'm dangerous. They don't want it when I'm anxious. Ain't no limit till I tank. I'm running on fumes. The opposition don't amaze. The roads racing through the pavement. Get your hands out of my bag. I know that's because I've been in it. I don't need to brag. I guess that's what happens when you taking care of your business. But some family, you do the math. I'm out of my pocket. Houston, we got a problem, man. Perfect, let them.
Now, things didn't go as smoothly as I expected them to go. When I went to leave the country, I ended up having to pay a fine. And when I confronted the border guard about getting a extension, she pointed out that it was only for 30 days and it wasn't for the 90 that I was expecting. So thankfully, I explained the situation. I was only like a day over, so she took me in to see her supervisor. He punched some things into the computer and let me go without paying the fee. But it is just something to be aware of, that just because you ask for 90 days doesn't mean they're going to give it to you. There was a bit of a language barrier there. She spoke only Spanish, and my Spanish was and still isn't the best. So it was a little bit difficult to explain what I needed. So that's probably why I only got 30 days. But before leaving there, just double check the paperwork and make sure that they did give you the amount expected. And if they didn't, just ask them about it, and I'm sure they'll be flexible with it. Another thing to make note of is I actually had to go to immigration a few times. The first was to confirm how long my visa was upon entry, as I mentioned earlier. The guy in immigration at the airport when I came in said I only had 14 days, but when I went to this immigration office, they said I had 90 days and said that the guy at the airport just didn't know what he was talking about. Then when I went to get this extension the first time, I was turned away because the banks were on strike. So if there's like a public strike that goes on there, they often do their strikes all at once. Like the banks will go and the trains and subways, they'll all go on strike all at the same time. So if something like that is going on in Argentina, when you try and go, they're not going to be able to do it. Just something to be aware of. I was turned away and had to come back. This also leads me to believe that they'll only take card at the bank. I never tested paying with cash, but this is the only thing that would make sense to me, as if they took cash, then they still would have been able to process me regardless of whether the banks were operating or not. Either that, or the staff that are in the booth that take payment, it does say Banco on it, so maybe they are a part of that union that went on strike and were on strike that day. So if you end up doing this, let me know in the comments whether you were able to pay with cash, but I'd take a card just in case you're not. Now, if you're in Argentina right now and are looking for another place in Latin America to go to, I actually put Argentina and Peru head to head in this video and talked about the pros and the cons of each of them. So definitely check that out, and don't forget to click subscribe.